So we're calling it Ads Worth Spreading. TED's mission, three-word mission, is ideas worth spreading. And this is an attempt to bring companies onto the site in a way that really fits with the site's ethos, the site's mission. Our sense is that online advertising generally is broken. I mean, it's tough out there. Click rates are falling. A lot of people really resent the presence of banners and advertisers on a site, and advertisers are responding by ever more ingenious ways of kind of ambushing people's attention and you know, kind of forcing them to look for a minute at an ad, and maybe people are looking for a minute, but it's in danger of provoking rage in the audience. We don't think that's how the relationship should be. All my life, I've tried to work in partnerships with advertisers where they're authentic members of the community. So in magazines, I used to publish hobbyist magazines. People there loved the ads. They pored over them. They felt like they were part of the experience. At the live TED conference, corporations come, and we don't want sponsorships based on flashy logos. We want people to be there as authentic community members. So we pondered what that would look like on the web. And the solution for TED is to introduce ads worth spreading. So an ad worth spreading is an ad that is just really interesting, that people who come to the site want to share with their friends. And what we're doing is we're inviting advertisers to submit films to us. We're in March, when we launch this, we're going to run these ads free of charge for a week, suspending all our other paid advertising. We're going to try and make a song and dance about it. We're going to give them each a page. We're going to urge our audience to view them and to comment on them and talk about them. And I guess what we're trying to inspire is a different kind of approach by some corporations to, instead of trying to push something onto people, to engage in a conversation, to ask questions, to show some of the people who are inside companies. You know, our experience of many corporations is that, you know, they're full of people with hopes, fears, dreams, questions, just like the rest of us. And I think it's time for a different kind of conversation. If we can have them share those dreams in an authentic way, I don't know, I think there's a way of doing that will really excite people and will actually change the image that some companies have.
So tell us about the presence of advertisers on TED, and you guys have done well in a sponsorship model. Tell us sort of what works for you and why it works.
We have a growing number of partnerships. We charge high advertising rates relative to the rest of the market. You know, I guess we claim an influential audience and so on of people who are really interested in, you know, in these TED Talks and in ideas, and advertisers want to be part of it. And I guess what we've resisted are some of the standard techniques online. For example, although we do video, we never do pre-roll video. Our view is that if someone wants to click on a talk, they want to see the talk. They respond, you know, when the first thing you see is 30 seconds of an advertiser, people tend to respond with anger to that. And that's just not the way to start, you know, a business relationship with a potential customer. So we're looking to, for a different kind of contract between advertiser and viewer. We want to say to our advertisers, business partners, produce stuff that our readers would really like to see, i.e. good ideas, not an ad, an idea. And then with that archive of interesting material, then we can say passionately to our readers, look at this stuff. This isn't just an ad. This is worth viewing. So the goal is that on the post-roll advertising, so after someone watches the talk, there'll be a film from a company that we believe is going to be fascinating to watch, or we're going to encourage our audience to watch.
Let's talk about TED Talks for a moment. It's done so well. It's sort of perhaps counterintuitive to some that 18-minute videos would be so widely consumed, you know, on the scale that they are. How did this happen?
It is a surprise. We were surprised at the level of response. We have known ever since I took over TED, that how passionate people who listen to the talks live, the kind of experience that they have, people get inspired by it. But there were two things we were worried about when we started to put some of the talks up online. One was that we were kind of giving away the crown jewels, and that the people who were paying a lot of money to come to the conference would be frustrated. And the other was that the talks just simply wouldn't work online, that 18 minutes, as you say, is too long, and you're looking at it on 6 square inches of real estate on a computer screen. How could that possibly work? I mean, the surprise is that it did work. The people responded really passionately to the talks and started forwarding them to a lot of their friends. And I think that's actually the secret to this. In the television world, if you just saw a talking head on a channel, you'd watch for a few seconds and then change the channel, and that kind of content never had a chance to take off. In the interconnected world that we live now, it's a whole different game. If you get an email from your friend saying, look, I know it's a lecture, but this is really important stuff, stick with it, then you watch it, you stick with it, and in minute 1 you're bored, and in minute 2 you're bored, and in minute 3 you're kind of intrigued, and in minute 12 you're sitting there shedding a tear because someone said something that really got to you and connected with you, and you end up inspired, and you send it to your friends. So the web has allowed for a new type of media unit to take off and get to critical mass. The combination of special content from remarkable people given a chance to articulate their ideas at the kind of length that the ideas need without getting too long and rambly. Link that to the power of personal recommendation, and I think that explains why this thing has happened. And we've now had, like 320 million TED Talks have been viewed. It's 500,000 a day. I mean, it's been really exciting to see.
We know that numbers are useful for us when we advertise, manage, govern, search. I'm going to talk about how they're useful when we reflect, learn, remember, and want to improve.